Hey Slowpokes, it's Tourist101. Welcome back to Worldbuilding Wednesdays. Sorry I missed the last 2 weeks. Some peeps were over from across the country and I wanted to give them all of my time. Alright, this is my first conlang showcase on the channel. So, welcome to Kapatalakapatala'wa, the language of languages. I made this art link because I wanted to make a language that had one vowel in any sentence. So, like, as you noticed in the language name, it only has the ah vowel. And if you were going to use that in a sentence, then that's the only vowel you could use. And so, it's a pretty weird language. And that's because it's not spoken by humans. I don't know what I'm calling these people. I might as well just call them the Key, because that's what they call themselves. They're little translucent blue beanbag looking dudes. They've got 3 like orbs in them. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they rotate around, and whichever one is on top, or like clearly on top or clearly on bottom, is the mode that they're in. And depending on whether the orbs are sort of like a triangle facing up or triangle facing down, is what gender they are. That being either Kipi or Kiti, which don't actually have any real analogs in human society. They're sort of like their own thing. The phonetic inventory is p, t, k, w, and l. Very small, actually, compared to any other language, in like any other human language. And the way that they, and also, I forgot, vowels, e, a, and u. And yes, it is impossible to go through a phonetic inventory of a language without sounding very silly. So, yeah. The way they actually make these noises is that the, whichever orb is clearly on top or on bottom, like what mode they're in. And modes are, for them, are like a social thing. But it also has like linguistic implications because each orb can only make one kind of vowel noise. And they could just like make it like a droning, like ah or e or oo. But the way that they stop, or the way that they like start making the noise is with a ping, right? And so the ping that the orb makes will sort of exit their body in a certain way. And the way it exits their body determines the consonant it makes. It's similar to human phonology, where like we make sounds and the way we obstruct that sound is how the consonants get made, but it's different for them because they don't like obstruct the sound like intentionally. The sound is made like in the center of their bodies and then escapes, you know? So it's CV syllable structure, so consonant vowel. And then there are a couple other like complications with the phonotactics. I'm not gonna go super in detail because I kind of want this to just be like a short, friendly type introduction to the language, but how it would sound in practice. Wa kawawa kipi pikiki pili kapatalakapatala'wa Kapatalakapatala'wa ka kakapa kala. So In English, this is a story of a young Kipi in their quest to explore the world. Speak, teach, remember, Kapatalakapatala'wa. Word order is agent, patient, verb. So, like, there's subject, verb, object, which is what we use in English, where the subject of the sentence, then the verb, then the object of the sentence. Well, rather than subject and object being more abstract places in the sentence, it's like the thing that is doing something, then the thing that the something is being done to, and then the verb after that. So, like in Kipi, Pikiki, Pili, Kipi is the agent, the Pikiki is the patient, what the Kipi is doing the verb to, and Pili is the verb. So the Kipi is Piliing the Pikiki, or the Kipi is owning a goal. Essentially, it's the Kipi's goal or quest. Which it sounds very silly to those who don't know much about linguistics, because Kipi, Pikiki, Pili doesn't really sound like a sentence because it's just a bunch of like nonsense words, right? But they actually mean something. So they're a set of words, called the lexicon, a mode lexicon, I should say, associated with each mode. There's the E mode lexicon, A mode lexicon, and U mode lexicon. So the E mode is used to describe animate things, such as actions and people. The A mode is used to describe concepts like time and thought. And the U mode is used to describe animate things that aren't people and having to do with people. And other inanimate things like ku, which means clay or the earth, and kupu, meaning erosion, fatigue, or weakness. The Ki worship three gods. So E is the god of spirit, A is the god of voice, and U is the god of body. So, the Ki worship these three gods, and the way that they worship them, they sort of like lump them all together as the gods, and I suppose I should break down which each factor is. So, the Ki believe that there are three parts of any person. There's the body, which is like the translucent blue stuff. Then there's the voice, which is, or the spirit, which is the three orbs inside every Ki. Is sort of like a physical manifestation of the spirit. And the voice is how one spirit can connect to the world around it. Or a person can connect to the world around it. It's like connection and all that, but through speaking. Because they have a very like strong cultural emphasis on speech and song and knowledge and all that. So there are different like mental illnesses based off of what you're lacking. I guess not like mental illnesses, but like states of being, I should say. So if you have a spirit and a voice but without a body, then you're a ghost pretty much. If you are a body and spirit, but without a voice, you are dissociative, right? Essentially a vegetable. And if you are a body with no spirit but a voice, you are essentially like insane. Because the spirit holds your personality and memories. So if you just have a body and a voice, you're just going to be babbling nonsense. Because the orbs in them aren't actually the spirit. They're like the conduits of the spirit. And it's through them that the voice can interact with the body to basically let the spirit interact with the world. And so, where was I going with that? My train of thought crashed. So, there are a couple interesting like features of the language, like the word kala, which is both sing and remember, because they oral storytelling and all that. They pass down stories and knowledge and information to the next generation, mostly through word of mouth. I mean, they do write things down, but to avoid a sort of like Library of Alexandria type situation, they basically turn all of their most important information into songs and hymns and stuff, which goes back thousands of centuries. This world is very old. And I guess thousands of centuries would be millennia. But anyway. And so it's sort of like how everyone remembers Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But if like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was the full history of Tanzania or something like that, it's not like used every day in day-to-day life, but it's just it's sort of like a social database, you know? Like if Cocomelon was a big USB, you could just like upload terabytes of like classified legal documents into or something. But in this social database, if you will, it's very resistant to change because of like how much cultural emphasis is put on knowledge and knowledge retention. So, it's not like Ring Around the Rosie goes from meaning, hey, look out for the Black Plague, to, hey, let's spin around really fast, you know? It's very much a, hey, let's look out for the Black Plague. I mean, it went extinct years ago, but, like, who knows, kind of deal. And putting this stuff into song is much like writing it down. I mean, they can write. There is a writing system, but it's mostly vestigial. It's for, like, very, like, classy, upscale stuff. It's not, like, to send things to others or whatnot. It's like, hey, we need to etch this treaty into, like, the side of a mountain so that generations down the line don't, like, cause a huge breakout war or anything. So I haven't done much with the writing system. Any, like, writing system I've shown you guys is chicken scratch after the fact of recording the audio. So any pictures of notes I threw up during this video is probably gonna have, like, corrections or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. I don't have, like, a huge list of written down stuff. I just sort of wanted to... I made this language years ago. And I just dug it up today, polished it up a bit, and that's why the video is unpolished, because the language itself isn't totally like complete yet. I don't have the OO phoneme lexicon, or not phoneme lexicon, mode lexicon like at all. Because I'm not gonna do much with this language or culture after this video. It's sort of like a one-off deal. I just wanted to get it out there because I think the key are pretty funky and I think they look neat. So yeah, let's head to the outro. Peace. Make sure to like and subscribe if you think I deserve any of those things, or don't if you think I don't, delight in the sight of my suffering. Make sure you ring this notification bell on your way out. She works very hard informing you of the 3 times a year I actually upload something. And if you can set your notification settings to all while you're at it, that would save her on paperwork, me on labor costs, and everyone a whole lot of stress. Well, anyway, thank you guys again for watching. Make sure to say bye to Gilbert on your way out. Later!